share with you one of the insights that we have within the network, and it's actually market share growth. So if you want to just put a little heading in your notes, market share, and we'll have a look at how simple and effective it is to actually grow this wonderful thing called market share. Now, if another coffee shop opened in your marketplace, would more or less coffee be sold, do you think? More? Yeah. Typically more coffee is sold. So more outlets, more coffee. To put that into perspective, 2 years ago, had the wonderful experience of a Vancouver Christmas and New Year, first sort of white Christmas, very, very cold. The interesting thing is Starbucks came out of Canada. There are 200 Starbucks in Vancouver, Canada. 200. Not 10, not 20, 200. So you can go to a street corner in the CBD of Vancouver, which is about the size of Sydney, to put it in perspective, and you don't need to cross the street to go to a Starbucks. They're on every single corner. Now they've worked out more outlets, more coffee. But they're not the only coffee shop doing well in Vancouver. It's like a real coffee culture over there. So, real estate. More outlets, more property sold. What do you think? No. The number of outlets has little to do with the number of properties actually being transacted. It's driven by something different than that, and it's called the market. So, we talk about, within the network, a very simple concept called the real estate river. And the real estate river is flowing. And sometimes it flows a little bit faster, sometimes it flows a little bit slower, but the real estate river flows. And this is the number of properties that are being listed, the number of properties that are being sold. So there are typically 3 markets that we will operate in real estate. A seller's market, a buyer's market, and a balanced market. And I think in a lot of areas there's been a shift from a seller's market to a buyer's market. It bumped through balance pretty quick. In some places there's still seller's market well and truly, in some places it's balanced. But whatever it is, the market is the market. And therefore the goal is to recognise that the flow is set by the market, not set by the real estate agents. Therefore the goal has to be having a net to capture more than your fair share out of the market, because the real estate river is flowing. So how good is your net to actually capture the market? Pretty simple. So in terms of market share growth then, and if we look at it, let's say this is agency 1 in terms of market share, agency 2 market share, agency 3, agency 4, agency 5, and let's say agency 6. It could look like that? Along those lines? Yeah. So in real estate, the thing we know is everyone that we list, let's say this is us here, right? Everyone that we list, who wants to finish this off? Well, yes. What happens? Absolutely. It's one that doesn't occur here. So this is the double whammy of real estate, and the reason why market share grows rapidly. We list this, and from a productivity point of view, we're going to actually step through some strategies around starting to look at how this actually develops rapidly. But this is literally the double whammy. Real estate is more like the airline business. And over Easter, I read the book Airbus versus Boeing. And be very, very clear that if Airbus wins a contract, Boeing loses that contract. If Boeing wins that contract, Airbus loses that contract. It's not like, okay, we'll both sell, more coffee will be sold. No, limited by the market, it's going to be a matter of this. Does that, yeah? So to achieve that from a market share point of view, there are only 3 things that as an agency you need to be brilliant at to make this happen. Let's make a note of these. The first one is you must be there. Now, where specifically is there? Yeah, okay. Yeah, where's there? Great. So the place that you need to be is at the kitchen table, at the dining room table, when someone is actually thinking about selling. You've got to be there. Now, a simple exercise that I'd strongly recommend you do is actually, with your team, grab the local paper or a printout off the web and actually ask the question, were we there? Were we there? Were we there? Were we there? And the answer is either yes or no. If the answer is yes, great, well done, good job, but we didn't actually win it. Were we there? No, we weren't there. That's the first question, were we there? The second question to ask is, could we have been there? Well, yeah, in actual fact, we could have been there because they actually, they bought the property off us 4.5 years ago. So we could have been there. Yeah, we could have been there because they came through an open of ours about 3.5 months ago, but we didn't pick them up as a potential seller. So could have been there, but we weren't. Now, are you okay with the reality that anything that where you weren't there, your chances of winning that business were highly unlikely? Like zippo. Not on the consideration list, not there, you were not there. Okay? Yes? Okay, good. So we know that that's the case. Well, now that we were there, by the way, being there is an issue around, if you want to put a note in here, it's an issue around generation, your business generation. And there are 4 key drivers in the generation process. So the first of these, and you'd expect this, is prospecting. The second is networking. The third is nurturing. And the fourth is marketing. And I'm not talking property marketing now, I'm literally talking success marketing and agent marketing around being known as a specialist in the marketplace. So these are the 4 drivers that really supercharge the ability to generate business. So, be there, first point. The second point then, if we've been there, the second thing we need to do is we need to be the best. The best we're talking about here is the best choice for me as a seller to actually appoint you as my agent. And at the end of the listing appointment, one of 2 things happens. You've either made it easy for me to choose you, or you've made it hard for me to choose you. What's the goal? Make it easy. Easy to choose you. So the ultimate is, thank you, you've made it easy for me to choose you, as opposed to it's hard to. Be the best. Now, there are 4 drivers around listing success. So you may want to make a note of these. So the first driver is strategies. So therefore, we really need to be able to talk strategy with our owners around what's the strategy that we're going to utilise to help us achieve a great result for you. A pricing strategy, a marketing strategy, a property presentation strategy. That's the level of strategy. Secondly is a skill set. So what are the skills that we need to have the skills to handle an objection. We need the skills to be able to discuss how to present the property effectively for photography and for marketing and so on, for opens. They're skills, they're clearly skills. Skill of building rapport with someone, skill set. The third one is dialogue. And that's simply a matter of knowing what to say and when to say it. Also what not to say and when not to say it. What to ask and when to ask it. And then the final driver in terms of listing success is our mindset. Our belief, the quality of thinking that we're actually applying to it, our mindset. So almost as we go through these, if we're not there, then it will be a combination of either prospecting, our networking, our nurturing, or our marketing is really not delivering the result. Secondly here, if we're not winning the business, we were there, we're not winning it, it'll be an issue around strategy, skills, dialogue and mindset that are getting in the way of making that happen. Now last time I checked, this is pretty consistent across Australia and New Zealand.